Welcome, dear viewers. My name is Brice Karyom. We welcome you to Hagana Media. Uh, Today, we have come with one of the finalists from Ansham University, and he's going to tell us, he's going to introduce himself to us. And please, in case you have not followed our page, kindly follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hagana Media for this and more inspiring stories, more especially about students, the life of students here in Egypt, and many more. So please feel free to follow us. If you want to advertise with us, we shall give you the telephone numbers there. You can bring your business and we advertise for you. Anyway, dear brother, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Koryom, the CEO of Agana Media. My name is Atem Ngor Atem. I'm a finalist at School of Law and Cham University. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Please feel free. Actually, there have been a lot of speculations here about coming to Egypt here, controversies. What encouraged you to come to Egypt here? And yet, most of the students have always complained of not understanding, and even tell us how did you hear of the scholarship coming to Egypt here? The process, how you made it from Juba up to here in Egypt. Briefly tell us about that journey.
Uh, Thank you very much. The scholarship that has been given to South Sudanese students is a long time scholarship that commenced in 1970s after the regional government of the Southern Sudan, and then it was renewed after the independence of the South Sudan in 2012. So we had colleagues who have graduated 10 years ago, or even more than 10 years ago, through the same scholarship. And coming to how I learned about the scholarship, it is the same way that our government introduced, because when opportunities come, the government advertise to the citizens through national televisions and all other platforms. So I got the scholarship through one of my colleagues who graduated here, and that's how I connect to apply for it. Actually, I applied in the month of June 2020, and fortunately, I was accepted and admitted in School of Law and Cham University. So this is how I got the scholarship, and I came here in October 26, 2020. Thank you.
Uh, All right. Anyway, guys, if you are an alumni of any Egyptian universities, please, we are so proud of you. You have encouraged many students to come here to Egypt. Now you have said that you came to Egypt on day 26. Actually, uh, first tell us your impression when you came here. What were your first impression when you came to the airport? Was it the same with the situation in Juba and here? And briefly, were you so excited? Were you so happy? You would want to know more about that. And by the way, were you happy of the course that they gave you, or they forced you? Because some students complained that they gave me the course I didn't want. I think maybe you have heard of such stories. Can you please tell us about that?
Yeah, thank you very much. In regard to the course, initially I was admitted in the University of Juba, the same faculty of law, in 2020. I started in the month of August until the time that I took off to come to Egypt after receiving the scholarship from the government of Egypt. So nothing changed from the career of my dreams, like studying law. I started law in University of Juba, but I was having an aspiration that studying law in outside the country or being an international student is an advantage, and of which I took that risk to come to Egypt to come and study. Secondly, when I first arrived here on the 26th of October 2020, I came during the day at around 2 p.m. Once I landed at Cairo International Airport, automatically there were changes. I saw changes from above. First of all, the place looked dry, looked like desert, and everything was totally different. Before I landed, I was like, wow, this is a different place, and how am I going to cope up with the situation? So immediately, since I landed in Juba International Airport, in Cairo International Airport, the first thing that I found was the language barrier. So taking a Uber or the transport from International Airport to where to the place of my residence was one of the challenge. But luckily enough, one of my cousin brother who have been here for 1 year went and received me, and he tried to coordinate with those people, and he was a bit familiar with the place, but not. It was not enough because there are other things that need you to do by yourself. So I accept the challenge, and I make sure that this is the place that I have come to live, and I have to make it favorable in all the way, because for you to live in a certain area that you have not been before, you have to accept that this is your home and you don't have any other place to live in, and therefore you can cope up with the situation. So this is how I made it, and good enough. We try to, South Sudan, we are Arabic in South Sudan, but it's a bit different. But we try to compare things and make sure that we cope up with the situation.
Uh, that's good, Of course, even me when I came here, I came at night and I was, it was winter. You could imagine the coldness over here. Anyway, now you are in Egypt. You know, now your process of moving to the. Did you go to university straight, or there are some processes that you are supposed to know? Because I'm sure that some of our viewers, some of them, they want to come here to Egypt and they would like to know the procedure that we make. Is it that when you come to the airport, you go straight to the university, or there are some other processes uh, that you will follow? Thank you.
Yeah, the nature of our scholarship is not that scholarship where you are received from the airport to the place of residency or to the university. First of all, we were aware of all the conditions that are attached to the offer at the university, at the Ministry of Higher Education in Juba. So we were informed that the scholarship is a partial scholarship. So you are going to cover your accommodations and your medical insurance and all other things. So once I came here, I did not come straight to the university. I went to go and reside in the a certain residential area called Adai Kalmadi. And after residing there for some time, almost 1 month, I started my process to come to the hostel. But when I came, I found all my process to be admitted to the university were completed by my cousin brother, so I had no issues to attend the lectures, but the issue was to come to the school residency. So this is where I got most of the problem. And luckily enough, I was accepted to narrate more about how I entered the hostel. When we came here, there were very funny condition or very funny procedures which were followed. First of all, you are admitted here in Egypt is not a situation where you are admitted at the university direct. You are admitted through the Ministry of Higher Education, and then Ministry of Higher Education will be the one now to take you to the university of your choice when you have been selected. After that, you will be able now to wait for your file. So when I came here, I started my lectures, but to come to the hostel, I was told by the school, the College of Law, Department of Student Affairs, that your file have not yet arrived to the university. Therefore, you cannot be admitted in the hostel because you are not yet confirmed to be a student. But I was like, okay, now I have the initial admission and I have been admitted. I have started registration. They said that registration is not even legal because you cannot be registered when your file has not been sent by the higher education to the university. So I've been following up from the student affairs to dean, and luckily enough, I went to the director of English section. The College of Law is divided into two. There is a general section which is Arabic, and then the English section. So we try all the ways, and they said you have to wait for your file while you are residing in the area. And traveling from the place of residency took me almost 40 minutes using a metro, and then from there I go back. So waking up early in the morning and it was winter, it was challenging. So I took a risk to go to the office of the director for English section, and I narrate my issue to him. So good enough, he was one of the generous guys that I found. He was very lovely and he liked a international student. So the first question he asked me, he said, "What is your name?" I said, "My name is Atem." He said, "Okay, are you from South Sudan?" I said, "Yes." He said, "What is your problem?" I narrated him. I told him I have been blocked to attend the hostel. But because of the file, my file is not yet here, and I've already been admitted. He said, okay. So he just picked his phone and he called the director of the student affairs, and he told her. By then it was Madame Tegrit, and he told her that let the South Sudanese student who wanted to join the hostel be allowed, and we will wait for their file because we don't know when the file will be arriving, but they have condition of residing in the area. So you sign all their document and let them go to the hostel. So from there, I opened the way to the rest of the students. So the director came to the office. She took me. She went and registered me. My file was completed, and then I went and disseminated the message to the rest of the students that now you can be allowed to go to the hostel. So any student who did not make it to the hostel was his or her own choice not to come to the hostel. But after I reached to the director of English section, she allowed me to come and reside, and this is how I get to the hostel after spending 1 month in the area.